Now, at this point in the book, and again, obviously I'm not reading the entire book, but you all should, so you can capture everything that's in between. But I'm jumping forward a little bit here. They get relieved by the army. They move to the rear, and they start getting word on what they're going to be doing. Back to the book. Under the glare of the lantern, Captain Wilcox spread a map on the hood, and we jostled for a view. Maps of this part of the world were scarce. This is the first one we had seen of the country beyond Ham Hung. It was a topographic chart made by the Japanese during their occupation of Korea. The characters and language on the map were Japanese. Place names and legends had no meaning for us, but we could read the physical features and the contour lines. The terrain they showed was a military nightmare, roadblock and ambush territory. It was a country of high, steep hills, deep valleys, and sharp ridgelines. The lower elevations were largely forested. Settlements were sparse, and the few roads twisted snake-like through tight passes and along riverbeds. At the northern extremity of the map, at the end of 70 miles of a narrow corkscrew roadway, was a meandering blue dot. That was the Chosin Reservoir. The Chinese have committed themselves to this war, began Captain Wilcox. They are in force. They are slicing through the Republic of North Korea's army up north like a hot knife through butter. Up here, he used his bayonet as a pointer to indicate the Chinese advance. The people we will fight are the 124th Division of the regular Chinese army. Definite and confirmed, no matter what Tokyo wants to believe. So the military command was in Japan. They weren't in Korea. The military command. The generals were over in Tokyo. So he's saying no matter what Tokyo wants to believe, this is who we're fighting. Back to the book. They're tough, well-trained soldiers, 10,000 of them. And all of their officers are combat experienced, their very best. After the briefing, I requested a word alone with Captain Wilcox to ask him if we could leave Sergeant Wright. So Sergeant Wright, you've heard his name mentioned a few times. He was the senior enlisted guy working directly for Lieutenant Owen. And it's actually time for him to go home. I requested a word alone with Captain Wilcox to ask him if we could leave Sergeant Wright behind when the company moved out. Sergeant White has done a good job for us, but he's a short-timer just waiting for paperwork, I offered. Furthermore, sir, it's not good for the troops to see him with his morale down. I'd like to replace him with Sergeant Wingett before we hit anything serious up ahead. Good idea, the captain said, except it's too late. Battalion says we mount out as we are. I'm not about to snarl up with them on a transfer detail right now. You tell Sergeant Wright that I'm sorry, we can't do anything for him. Aye, aye, sir. So that was a little opportunity for Sergeant Wright to get out of there, but it didn't work out.